which is a 3,000-foot elevation, 9 miles from the Pacific Ocean. This video is about my trip to an amazing ranch in Northern California. I love being in nature, but to be in nature, I've got to be in shape. I reached out to Urevo to sponsor this video, and they made it possible for me to bring you this very special travel video. I got the Urevo Strollite 2-in-1 folding treadmill. I use it in my living room because I love my view. I walk out, I open the doors, I can see what's going on, but I'm in the comfort of a cozy room when it's really cold outside. So this is perfect to work out in my home, especially during winter. Although this treadmill is sleek and slim, it has a 2.5 horsepower motor on it. It is heavy duty, so I can walk or I can run on it. It's a folding treadmill. It is sturdy yet it's lightweight. So when I'm done, I just unlatch it and fold it down, and it fits right under furniture, and in this case, my couch. It's so easy for me to maneuver, and it doesn't take up any space, so it's not gonna ruin the look of my living room. Nobody's gonna know it's underneath that couch. Click the link in the description box to get your Urevo. Thank you, Urevo, for sponsoring this video. And here's my trip at that very special ranch. Hi, I'm Rebecca Rand. I'm at the top of Taylor's Peak, which is a 3,000-foot elevation, 9 miles from the Pacific Ocean. This area is right around the town of Petrolia, California, where I'm doing a major tour and seeing some amazing land off the grid. On the way to the ranch, you drive through this really special town called Ferndale, California. It's a city in Humboldt County. It has a population of about 1,300 people. That's it. The population is actually declining. It is the cutest town of the oldest Victorian style of buildings, and those were built by the redwood forests in the local area. They would take down those redwoods and build these beautiful homes and all the businesses here on the main street from those redwoods. Redwood is resistant to termites and other pests, so they last a long time. Those are sturdy buildings there. Ferndale was settled in the 1850s, and it has an elevation of only 50 feet above the Pacific Ocean. And right outside the city limits of that little Ferndale town are all the ferns. Take a look at all these beautiful pictures and photographs I took of the ferns. I'd never seen a forest floor so packed with ferns, like right outside of Ferndale. And off in front of me is Conception Point, the furthest western point in all of continental United States, sitting out there with the Pacific Ocean glassy on this perfect day. And the coastline flattens out, and nobody's using it. There's no surfers, there's no beachgoers. It is so quiet. And that is Ship Rock. That's what the locals named it, because it looks like a ship out there, but it's not a ship, it's a rock. The water is so calm today, so glassy, and it's really shallow and rocky by the shores there. As the waves come rolling in, and the shoreline goes on for a long, long way, miles and miles. And that's your perspective, looking south. Most of the time it's very, very foggy here. This is a really unusual day where the sea is pounding into the shoreline with clear, clear air. So that rock right there and those rocks are responsible for many shipwrecks. The coastline goes way down. Now it flattens out. It's 80 degrees today. It's the most beautiful day in California, especially up north in Humboldt County. It's used for pasture land because you're off the grid. Can you hear that? That's what we call a dial tone for the kids out there that don't know. I guess I need a quarter. I don't have a quarter. I'm using everything my credit card. I'm on a parcel that is 8 miles from any other living human being. It's a Scottish land parcel back from the 1800s, around 1872. This ranch is in Humboldt County by Eureka. I flew into Eureka and I followed it down through Ferndale, all the way down to Petrolia, and then went back up here towards this little town called Scotia. So the ranch is about right there where my finger is. And this is the farthest point west, Cape Mendocino, and I was there. And everywhere you look, there's some amazing thing of nature just happening. Like this tree with all that sphagnum moss just coming down on it. Look at this, right here. How amazing. This is like an air plant. Maybe there's not sphagnum moss. What is that? Wow. Right here, this beautiful ranch. And all through this ranch are amazing wildflowers, lichen, moss, everything. Because it's close to the coast, yet it's very, very far off the grid. And from one ecosystem of the flowers, you go over the mountain, the dry fields that they have a lot of cows on, and then in there is the forest where there's all kinds of ferns. And right here, I'm on the top of the world. I'm kind of scared to get too close and look down. That's a long way down into that valley. All of those trees over there are mainly Douglas firs. They do a whole lot of mining of the trees. You'll see a whole lot of trucks filled with the tree trunks going down the mountain, which is about an hour's worth of driving from the little town of Petrolia to get up to this marvelous property. That overlooks the ocean. Need a vehicle like a Polaris. 3,500 acres. Now that's about 8 square miles. That's amazing. It's a lot of land. I'm actually the passenger. So you gotta buckle up for safety. And on Taylor's Peak, if you're really ambitious, you could actually get to the very peak. But that's beyond my capabilities. And in this very large parcel from Scottish roots of a family that just wanted a better place to live and bought this really cheap ages ago, thousands of acres, and kept buying up local and adjacent properties. They got out of what was historically a logging agreement on this property and got out of it, and they hold it as a nature's preserve. There's all kinds of wildlife on this property, and on the trip up to this point, over on this part of the property, I saw a grouse. There's all kinds of deer, coyote, and the most beautiful of trees. And all through this ranch is amazing walks like this in the shade of all those Douglas firs. It's the most amazing environment. You can hear the birds sing, you can see the sun filtering through the trees. It's about 85 degrees out there on the pastures, but within the forest, it's a cool 72. It's beautiful. And this is my view of what I see over the edge, the forest floor with huge diameters of Douglas fir going up to the canopy of the forest. And there's all kinds of quail, and they're living up here. I just saw a whole covey. Let's see if I can flush them out. The moment's gone. But there was a lot. And everywhere through this forest are all these seedlings trees. This tree is about 2 years old, but you can see the babies too. It's amazing. This is a healthy forest. And you can easily see why there's so many baby trees, because there's just pine cones everywhere on this forest floor. So they sprout where they found some light, some sun, and some water. And there's this mini forest of bay laurel trees. So as you walk through here, you just smell them. Wouldn't you want to put that in some chicken stock? They're everywhere. All over. And young trees too. Beautiful. What a pretty scent. Love it. And this bay laurel tree has been here forever. The leaves are growing right out from the old trunk that has all kinds of moss on it, more shoots and ferns growing at its base. And all over this ranch are little springs that come up from nowhere. Look at this one, just coming from the side of the hill. You can see the water trickling. And it just pokes out from this hillside. That's a big, huge mountain. That's amazing, Mother Nature. And this is a drought year, end of the summer. This is as dry as it gets. But yet that little spring is feeding, and what I hear is there's tons of bird wildlife, quails and grouse that just flush out of these bushes because of this one water source. So many beautiful waterfalls. And the owner of the property tells me this is so low. Can barely believe how small the flows of water are. But this ranch is only accessible during the drier months. The road will wash out other times. Even with the drought, this is where California exists. All the water from all mountains like this. Properties up north feed population. So beautiful to see all ferns. They are so big, they feel like Jurassic Park. And in order to survey the land, so you know where the property lines are, they would put things like pipes and all kinds of things to signify it. This is a section corner mark that points up to Taylor's Peak. And there it is. Taylor's Peak is right there at the top of that mountain. So they would have to define their property, and they would look for things like this way back when they were homesteading it. And every so often on your hikes through this property, you find things like this old relic of a water trough that they used to water the cattle with. And there's the pipe that pumped in the water. And here is late afternoon with just such a sweeping view. All of those Douglas fir and the forest and the oak trees. All the way down. To the sea. And right here, I'm on the top of the world to that valley. All of those trees over there are mainly Douglas firs. They do a whole lot mining of the trees. You'll see a whole lot of trucks filled with tree trunks going down the mountain, which is about an hour's worth of driving from the little town of Petrolia to get up to this marvelous quarry. That overlooks the ocean. And it's so quiet here, out in the forest, but what you can hear are all the waterfalls and the creeks in the distance. There's a madrone tree on the property. Beautiful red trunk. It's been here a very long time. Beautiful wood. And there's the bathroom. And in the evenings, the tall shadows come and fall against the hillside. It's just beautiful. This cabin was built in 1872, and the family that's owned it for generations has used it ever since. The kitchen is remarkable, and the old wood-burning stove, and the way the sink is here, it's fully functioning. It's got a bunch of propane devices for like 8 cooktops. It has an old fridge, that doesn't work anymore. But let me give you a tour of this cabin. That superior wood-burning stove would keep the whole place warm as well as cook the food. But later, the owners put in a propane stove and also 8 cooktops. And if you go and look through the kitchen window, which he has held up by a spoon, that's the view you get out of the kitchen window. It's so beautiful. And if you follow my channel, you know that cooking is one of my favorite things to do in life. And this kitchen and this little cabin can cook anything you want. And I had the honor of cooking a venison tenderloin that they had hunted off the property a few days before. And another night, I cooked a rack of lamb. And another night, grilled up some lobster tails. Wow, what a great setting for beautiful cooked food fresh off the ranch or brought. Here are the bedrooms. You can sleep a number of people in them. The bunk beds are here, and they have real mattresses. And then here's another bedroom. That's where I'm staying in. I got my sleeping bag, I've got my pillows, I've got everything I need. Look at the floor and look at the walls. It used to be a 2-story cabin, but they rebuilt it over time because it started falling down, but they reused all the timber and all the wood. The porch is the ideal spot to hang out and just look at the beauty beyond you. It is perfectly suited for relaxing. Oh, and there's a mattress in case you got a friend that wants to sleep outside. And this is the original step that the property was on. And then the earthquake moved it over there. The house jumped about 8 feet. And I really love the outhouse because it had real plumbing, because this whole ranch has gravity-fed plumbing, because all that water is rushing down the hill, so you're able to flush the toilet. Yay. And so the ranch record is all about how big the trout were that they caught in the beautiful streams on this property. And so there's a big competition going around about all those fish. That's pretty exciting. And one of the traditions is when you visit the ranch is you sign their guest book, which is actually carving your name on the wall. And that cabin has been there since 1872. Amazing. I'm Rebecca Brand. Thanks for watching this video. And let's keep making great recipes in life. And this is a recipe for a great travel trip into the furthest parts of Northern California. See you next time.
What a great trip that was. I'm so glad I'm in shape to do these trips. I want to show you more features about the Urevo now. Maybe this will inspire you so you can stay in shape to go on whatever your special nature hikes are.
To run or walk, I just start it, I press the start button, and it goes at a very gentle pace, so then I can adjust the speed as fast as I want, just by pressing some buttons that are right on the holding bar on the top. Here I am pressing the go speed. It'll pick up pace as I press that button. I could go faster and faster with this manual control. Or if I wanted to, I could press the 3 or the 6. Now that will pick up the pace really fast. The 6 makes me run pretty hard. I don't do too much of that. I prefer a nice light jog or the walking pace. It is perfect for me and the controls are so easy for me to use. If things got out of control and I was running too fast, they have an emergency stop button, which is perfect for me. I hit that. Check this out. And the thing comes to a stop. It's a gentle stop. It's not going to trip me up. I feel so safe. To re-engage it, I just push that lever back, and then it's ready to go for me to continue on my workout. This Urevo treadmill has a remote control as well. That's handy and easy. With that remote control, I could have gone up to 3.8 miles. That's fast enough for me. But with the handbar, with just the tip of my finger, I could go up to 7.6 miles per hour. But that's too fast for me, but it's nice to know that I could if I wanted to. On the bottom of the Urevo is a great screen that's easy to read. It shows me how fast I'm going, how many miles I've gone, the distance, the time I've been riding, and also the calories I'm burning. Everything at a glance. I love that, so I can see my own progress as I go. When I'm working out on this treadmill, it's really sturdy and it's really smooth. And there's a 260-pound weight limit for it. That's great. The running belt is of the highest quality. It's 5 layers and it's almost 17 inches. And that's great because different people have different strides, so you don't have to worry about falling off one side or another. It's wide enough. And as I'm walking and running, whenever my foot goes down, it's cushioned enough. It's perfect. There's a little bounce back, so it really motivates me to run. It doesn't suck my energy out of me. It feels good to walk or run on this. This treadmill is a great choice for indoor workouts at homes or offices or anywhere you want to do that workout. And that portability is key to making it easy and stowaway so it doesn't take up the whole room. It keeps me in shape for when I get to do my nature hikes. I want to thank Urevo for sponsoring this video. I truly love their 2-in-1 folding treadmill that's easy to store. It has kept me in shape so I can live a beautiful life when the weather is good and the hiking's gorgeous. Click the link to get your Urevo folding treadmill. There's a number of them in the link that you can choose from. Rebecca Brand, I'm going to show you how to make a yellow jacket trot. And cut off and put water in it. Done. And I've used all kinds of different meats, and bacon is the best, and I'll tell you why. With your toothpick, you're going to thread it through the bacon, like that. And with another toothpick, you're going to cross-hatch the first toothpick, and you're going to thread it through the top of your jug. They're going to come eat the bacon, and they're going to get that fat in them, and that makes them heavy. And what happens is, they're going to fall into the water and die a natural death by drowning. Now you just hang it somewhere.